Welcome to this new episode of OSINT News. I'm John Luca, and this is the podcast connected to the website OSINTinvestigate.com, where every day we analyze news, techniques, and scenarios from the world of open source intelligence. Today is March 12th, 2026, and in the next few minutes we'll look at some of the most interesting developments emerging in the global cyber intelligence landscape. Let's start with a story that shows just how thin the line between cybercrime and geopolitics has become. A group of hacktivists linked to Iranian intelligence circles has reportedly claimed responsibility for a cyber attack against a major U.S. medical technology company, Stryker. According to several sources, the attack caused serious operational disruptions and even forced the evacuation of thousands of employees at one of the company's major facilities. For those working in OSINT, cases like this are particularly interesting. In many situations, the first signs of an attack actually emerge from open sources, social media posts, statements from hacker groups on platforms like Telegram, or unusual disruptions in a company's online services. Now let's move to another threat that is becoming increasingly common: malware campaigns exploiting compromised WordPress websites. Attackers are using a rather clever technique. They display a fake security captcha, convincing the user to copy and paste a command into their system. In reality, that command launches a PowerShell script that downloads malware, often infostealers or remote access Trojans. This type of attack shows how social engineering remains one of the most effective tools in cyber operations. Another interesting development concerns the relationship between institutions and artificial intelligence. In the United States, the Senate has decided to authorize the official use of only 3 AI chatbots for internal work: ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and Microsoft Copilot. This decision reflects growing concerns about the security of sensitive data when using generative AI tools. And this is an issue that increasingly affects professionals working in OSINT, because many investigative activities now integrate AI tools for data analysis, research, and information correlation. Meanwhile, the defense sector is also accelerating the development of counter-drone technologies. Several companies are expanding their defense systems designed to detect and neutralize hostile drones, especially across Europe. This trend is linked to the growing use of drones in modern conflicts and the need to protect critical infrastructure, airports, and military installations. For OSINT analysts, this means something very simple. More and more public data, satellite imagery, and open-source videos will become valuable for monitoring these technologies and their operational deployment. And finally, we close with a fundamental topic: information warfare. More and more propaganda operations rely on manipulated images, viral content, and deepfakes to influence public opinion. For this reason, the work of OSINT analysts today increasingly includes image verification, source analysis, and the monitoring of online narratives. In other words, the challenge is no longer just collecting information, but understanding what is real, what has been manipulated, and who is trying to shape the perception of events. And that's it for today's update. I'm John Luca, and this was OSINT News, the podcast connected to OSINTinvestigate.com. If you work in digital investigations, cybersecurity, or open source intelligence, keep following us for new updates, tools, and analysis. See you soon in the next episode.